What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host and current longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champ of all time, the Hot Commodity Ant, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
Chris, you're checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. First Monday Night Raw. That's 2 hours long. Thank God, because I'm tired of just having nothing to say during the itty bitty segments that don't mean shit.
Mhm.
But even with this 2 hour Monday Night Raw, they still decided to add the studs. They still decided to add some little bullshit that they could have. We didn't even see the Judgment Day in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? We
hmm We got a clip of Rhea, and that was it.
Oh yeah, that's that's oh wow. It was not what I expected. I expected more, especially this was their first show being 2 hours. They had a real chance to just focus on what is important. Monday Night Raw is their flagship show. Now, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Cody Rhodes. There's an argument right now for SmackDown being number one, but essentially in history, Monday Night Raw has been the number one show. Um, Now that you're cutting, like before we start talking about the show, people need to understand that a lot of people for 20 years, however, Monday Night Raw has been 3 hours. Like they have including myself, have a routine that they do on Mondays, and it's just going to be interesting and uh, you know, people's attention spans because with 3 hours, people aren't really watching the whole thing. Like I said, you have a real chance to have everybody fully invested in your whole 2 hour show because you have Seth Rollins, you have CM Punk, you have the Judgment Day, um, like you have Drew McIntyre, you have a bunch of these guys. And when Raw gets to Netflix, and again, I really hope this just isn't a disappointment because I don't think they're gonna be stale because they have like The Rock and shit, but I think Monday Night Raw is not going to be as maybe popping as it was the beginning of this year. I think they're gonna slow down once after War Games, wrestling like WWE might take a shit for a month. Not literally, not financially, just it might catch a lack of interest for some people until they hit the Netflix. So, but yeah, let's talk about the show. Sorry about the yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm glad to hear your thoughts on it. I do agree that sometimes at WWE around like December, you could start to see fans kind of dip. Now we'll see what happens because what I just learned, and I thought this was just going to be on TV, but I guess that Saturday night's main event is going to be like a live event, like a premium live event, um, which might increase people, if there's a good storyline to that or not. But we'll see. What I'm wondering though is with the Royal Rumble being in February, that's going to be a lot of time
Yeah, oh my
there. It's like, what are they going to do? I mean,
February
we'll
of this
see.
year.
But yes, we're covering WWE Monday Night Raw from October 7th, 2024, live in St. Louis, Missouri. Sexy Red welcomes us to Raw. Really don't care about her. Don't know why they keep using her.
Ghetto,
She's just there.
she's
CM
ghetto as
Punk,
fuck.
what's that?
She's ghetto as fuck.
Yeah, I just think she sucks. She really doesn't bring anything. CM Punk comes out and CM Punk says, I'm in no condition to be here. It hurts to smile, but I had to come here and see you all. I'm alive, but I don't feel like it. I don't know what the future holds for CM Punk. I want to thank my fans, my peers, and the people that don't like me at all. I turned your hate into cash. I'd like to say I'll see you soon. I just don't know. And after he says that, Seth Rollins comes out. Seth says, from all of us, get well soon because the quicker you get back, I can kick your ass and retire you for good. Seth says, I've been gone a couple of months. I am back to destroy Bronson Reed. He's not here tonight, but I know you're watching. 2 months ago, you tried to end my career. For what? Congratulations. 6 tsunamis later, and I know your damn name. You want to get famous? I'll give you your 15 minutes. Let's fight. You name the time and place. This time I'll be expecting you. So, two things to break down here. Smart fans know CM Punk's not going to be competing, not because he's really hurt, but because he doesn't want to work in Saudi Arabia, which is where the current pay-per-view is being held. But my question for you, since we know CM Punk is going to come back soon, we're probably going to get Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. Do you care about this rivalry? This is reminding me of when Seth Rollins fought Omos. Kind of like, what's the point? We get it. Bronson Reed destroyed Seth Rollins, but he could have done that to like anybody, the world champion. He took out Seth Rollins, and there really wasn't a purpose for it. But Seth wants a shot at Bronson Reed. So what do you think?
I think it's for Seth to go after Big Bronson Reed because he took him out. I mean, he took him out of action. I think it's going to. I've never been into Bronson Reed personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he got released back in like 2020 during the pandemic, came back shortly. But it just feels like to me since NXT, he's a Triple H guy. So he's gonna be signed. He's gonna be on house shows, main events. I saw him at a main event show right before Raw back in June.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy who can do athletic things. It's just when you don't do anything with him, it's really hard for me to get behind him. And not that he doesn't show any personality, but what's his gimmick besides just being this big meathead? That's
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he doesn't really stand out. I will say though that
Oba Fett fucking stands out.
Oba Femi definitely
Not like that. Oba Fett, his voice is just.
Mm-hmm. Oba stands out. The thing with Bronson Reed is when you look at him like, oh damn, this guy could take people out because he's big. But other than that, like he does the cool high flying stuff. But I've never really bought into Bronson Reed for some reason. I don't like his theme song. This is the story of a. It's like, oh, like I hate it. It's so ugly. It's stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they gave him like a different character, I just feel like when he talked, it kind of ruined it for me a little bit because it's just like I want him to be like I kind of want him to have like a crazy gimmick. Like I want him to be someone that they can't control and just like goes after, kind of like a Jacob Fatu type. But we don't really get that. We just get the, I'm just a fat big guy that wants to destroy everybody. There's really no. And they could have done something because he's from Australia. Like he could be like an island type person. But let's move on. We have the Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso defending against Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. What's that?
This match was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really wasn't that good. We basically see Xavier Woods land a super kick for a 2, and then Xavier Woods jumps into a super kick by Jey. Uso splash. Jey Uso gets the win. After Jey Uso offers his hand, but Xavier Woods walks off, and Bron Breakker comes from out of nowhere and spears Jey Uso. He then spears Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and then lands a second spear to Jey. So Bron Breakker just last week shook hands with Jey. Now he's attacking everybody. What do you think is his plan here?
I think his plan is to get that IC title back. Look, people love Jey Uso. Maybe maybe this was just for him to, get that out of the way, right? For the fans to stop bitching, because I'm gonna be honest, and this is no disrespect to Jey Uso. I love his yeet. I like his charisma. I like the way he speaks. With that being said, he is not good in the ring. He's just not good in the ring. By himself is really what I'm talking about. He has shown that, at least for me, all I see is super kick after fucking super kick after uh he does that little
Little dance thing, yeah.
and then he does that.
Oh, all right.
It's stupid. Like it's stupid. Like he's trying to be like The Rock when he does that. And he has three move sets. Um again, love the personality, love the yeet. I love all of that. Um I think this is just a what's it called? Transition for a little bit because look, Bronson Reed is really brand new to the main roster. He's only like 20. He's in I don't even think he's like halfway through his 20s. He might be like 25, right? So maybe like he's really young. And he's a future WrestleMania main eventer, future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. This isn't going to hurt him. However, I still feel like he could have held that title a little bit.
Braun.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna keep him going after it, he should have held on to it a bit longer. Because they just sort of switched up his storyline. He just was, I mean, unless it was all just a ruse to fuck with Jay, but it seemed as if it was just gonna be, Braun moving on to Gunther, and then Braun just attacked Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Jey Uso. So that leaves me wondering why even confront Gunther if you're just going to go after Jay again. I mean, maybe again, this is his whole plan was to confuse everybody and just blindside Jay here, but it just didn't really add up. I mean, I get it. He would want your title back, but you're not going to shake hands with someone and then attack them the next week. It's just kind of like, why didn't you attack them last week? We get a promo from Rhea Ripley. She basically says she's coming after Raquel and Liv. We then see a promo for what I believe is the Viking Raiders. I'm guessing they're just going to be coming out soon. There's really been no talk about them, but we then see The Miz talking to Karrion Kross. R-Truth confronts him and tells The Miz that he forgives him for the attack that Miz gave him on Raw. Miz says that he did it on purpose, and The Miz challenges R-Truth to a match next week. And then we get our Donneybrooke Brawl, Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. This is actually a very exciting match. I thought they gave it their all, and you're pretty excited as well by something. Shocked. What's happening?
I love baseball right now.
Oh, I thought that was something wrestling related. I was about to. Okay, well, we got the Donnybrook Brawl, Sheamus and Pete Dunne. They hit each other with shillelagh shots many times throughout the match. Pete Dunne lands a tornado DDT off the barrels to the floor. Sheamus lands an Irish curse backbreaker. Pete Dunne then superplexes Sheamus for a 2. And then Sheamus hits a white noise through a bunch of tables on the floor. And the end comes when Pete Dunne zip ties Sheamus's arms, but Sheamus is still able to land a high knee and a bro kick, and Sheamus wins the special Donnybrook match. Thoughts? Hopefully this is the end of this rivalry here.
It better be. Because how many times are they going to fight?
Yeah. I mean, they've been going at it now for it's like almost like Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Yeah.
I think it was like shortly after because when I went, he fought Ludwig Kaiser, and then that transitioned like a week or two after. So
I didn't care. Like I thought the match was good, but again, I really hope that it's the end of this rivalry between the two because they need something different here. Sami tells Cody Rhodes backstage that he will be the one he faces at Crown Jewel, not Gunther. What I like about this is with the whole Kevin Owens attack, they're not really talking about it, which is cool. Most of the time they talk about stuff. It's making you think it's more realistic when they don't talk about it. We then see Raquel Rodriguez drive with world champion Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio to the arena. Liv says, I still have the title, Dominik, Judgment Day, and now I have Raquel. I still win when I lose. And then they decide to leave. You mentioned this earlier, no sign of Judgment Day. This really was unnecessary. We could have saw the Judgment Day promo over the next match that we're about to talk about. But Raquel doesn't explain why she sided with Liv. It's just her being quiet, like an enforcer. But that's it that we see of them. We then see the next women's match. Natalya, Zelina Vega, Kayden Carter, Katana Chance, and Lyra Valkyria defeat the Unholy Union and the Studs after Lyra lands a flying leg drop to the back of Sonya Deville to get a 3 count. A lot of fans and the wrestlers backstage were unhappy because this match ran for about like 4 minutes, and really there was no point of it. What are your thoughts?
Again, having a debut 2 hour show and you decide to push shit like this again.
Stupid, right?
I don't see the purpose for Lyra or the Studs.
The Studs are great. There's a whole community of lesbians out there. They need to be.
And I respect them. But at least do something with them. At least give them a fucking tag team title run. Make him something. Don't just make him a group of fucking lesbians that just go out there, beat the shit out of people, and pose. That's all they do.
I think they're mad because Natalya didn't want to give up her pussycat ears to Shayna, and I think that caused a rift between them.
Bro, Sonya Deville's fine as hell, I will say.
Shayna's attractive too.
Even
they
though
play
she
for the other team.
Not sausage, I think she's fine as hell.
I'll let her put a trick on me, the submission magician.
Because remember she shot somebody that tried to break it in her house last year?
That was Sonya, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about Shayna.
Oh.
I'm saying Shayna can put a trick on me because she's a submission magician. Well, we're here for our main event, the World Champion Gunther defending against Sami Zayn. This is really nothing great here. Sami lands an exploder to Gunther into the railing, a haluva kick on the floor, and then a haluva kick in the ring for a 2. Gunther lands a power bomb and a clothesline, another power bomb for a 1 count. And then Gunther applies a sleeper and Sami Zayn fades. Gunther retains the title, and then WWE Champion Cody Rhodes comes out and faces off with Gunther, and that ends Raw. And I will say, I liked that it was shorter, but I was left wanting to I feel like I missed something. Something was missing from it. It was good, but I didn't feel fulfilled when it ended, which is good. They were saying on Busted Open, it's better to have something be, you want to see more of it than be like, oh, I'm over it. But what did you think of the main event?
Just happy Sami didn't win.
I know. But you knew he wasn't going to win.
No, we did. We did not know, or we knew he wasn't going to win. Yeah, you're right. But good. I don't like Sami Zayn. So.
What's that?
It didn't feel like a continuation of pay-per-view.
I agree because I feel like they could have had Ian was saying that it didn't feel like a continuation of the pay-per-view, and I could see that because the Judgment Day didn't show up, you didn't see Finn Balor, you didn't see Damian Priest, you didn't see you kind of just saw who you saw. And I also know that they're taping. Aren't they taping Raw? They taped it last week.
No, it was live.
No, I mean next Raw. The next Raw that they're doing is going to be taped.
Sorry. Well, this live is going to end, so.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you for checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Christian, thank you for joining me. You're a beast for seeing the time. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.